Okay, I'm sorry about that. We had somebody who's having trouble getting on, but everybody else is on. Okay, everybody, welcome to the Thursday night EFT Emotional Freedom Techniques workshop for treating anxiety, depression, PTSD, insomnia, and other serious emotional challenges. Hope you're all having a pleasant night, and we're going to start warming up, not warming up, as other people get in. And so we'll start off with a gratitude tap, and then we'll do some of our other warm-up exercises. So for all those who care to, let's check in. Who'd like to check in with something they're grateful for? And then we'll tap on it together. Who's got something they're grateful for?
Well, I'll go ahead and start.
Go ahead, Deirdre.
This is Deirdre. So I guess I'd like to. I'm grateful for my job. I guess the one that offered me all my hours back.
Awesome. Okay, top of the head. Thank you.
Cross mark. Thank you.
Eyebrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Side of the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the nose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the mouth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Collarbone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the arm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karate chop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath and I'll release. Okay, very good. And now who else would like to check in and share something they're grateful for that we can tap on together?
Hey, Tony, it's Kim.
Go ahead, Kim.
I'm grateful for getting a little more sleep this morning.
Awesome. Very good. Top of the head. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eyebrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Side of the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the nose. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Under the mouth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Collarbone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the arm. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Karate chop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath and I'll release. Okay, very good. Who else would like to check in with something they're grateful for that we can tap on together?
This is Linda.
Hi, Linda. Welcome aboard. Go ahead.
I am grateful for YouTube.
Awesome. Top of the head. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eyebrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Side of the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the nose. Thank you. Under the mouth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Collarbone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the arm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karate chop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath and now release. Okay. Anybody else like to check in, say hi, and share something they're grateful for we can tap on together?
My name is Ichoda.
Hi there. Welcome.
Hi, thanks. And I am grateful for having a bit of energy today and being in good spirits and the health of my son.
Excellent. Very good. Top of the head. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eyebrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Side of the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the nose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the mouth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Collarbone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the arm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karate chop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath and now release. Okay, very good. All righty. Anybody else want to check in and share something they're grateful for that we can tap on together? All right. Well, I'll share. Tomorrow I'm going to be on a local yokel cable, Woodstock Cable Community TV. Going to be interviewed. Meet myself and maybe a couple of my healing buddies, my healing homie buddies. we're going to be sharing about one of our clinics that we're going to be doing in Woodstock on hopefully the 1st of November. So if you're in the Woodstock area and you can get cable 23 or cable 20, whatever the community cable thing is tomorrow, you'll get to see my silly face and a couple of my buddies. And maybe we'll do some tapping on TV. Ooh. Okay, top of the head. Thank you.
Thank you.
Eyebrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Side of the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the eye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the nose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the mouth. Thank you.
Thank you.
Collarbone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Under the arm. Thank you.
Thank you.
Karate chop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Let's all take a deep breath and now release. Okay, and now we're going to do Ho'oponopono, which is a great tap for healing, remote healing, releasing. It's a traditional Hawaiian meditation and chant, but it's resurfaced about 10, 15 years ago. And when you combine it with tapping, it really goes quantum. It's a great exercise. All right, so let's start tapping the top of the head. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Eyebrow, please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Sorry, I forgive you.
I
Under the eye, I forgive myself.
forgive myself.
Under the nose, thank you.
Thank you.
Under the mouth, I love you.
I love you.
Collarbone, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Under the arm, please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Karate chop, I forgive you.
I forgive you.
Top of the head, I forgive myself.
Thank
Eyebrow, thank you.
you.
Side of the eye, I love you.
I love you.
Under the eye, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Under the nose, please forgive me.
Please forgive me.
Under the mouth, I forgive you.
I forgive you.
Collarbone, I forgive myself.
Forgive myself.
Under the arm, thank you.
Thank you.
Karate chop, I love you.
I love you.
Excellent. Let's all take a deep breath and now release. Okay, very good. And now we're going to do the Reiki tap, which is kind of fun, which is where we combine both Reiki and EFT, which are in fact kissing cousins, okay? And it's really easy. What we do is we take the basic Reiki mantras, which used to be a deep, dark secret. Now, of course, it's all over the internet, so it's no biggie. So it's real easy. And so the first Reiki mantra is Chokure, which means place the healing energy here. Okay. And so let's just start tapping at the top of the head and just repeat after me. Simon says, okay. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Very good. Eyebrow. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Okay. Side of the eye. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Okay. Under the eye. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Under the nose. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Under the mouth. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Collarbone. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Under the arm. Very good. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Very good. Karate chop. Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Chokure, chokure, chokure.
Excellent. Let's all take a deep breath. And I'll release. Okay, and now the next Reiki mantra is Seihiki, which means healing the mind, the body, and the spirit. So again, let's start tapping the top of the head and just repeat after me. Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, seiki, seiki.
Okay, eyebrow. Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, seiki, seiki.
Okay, side of the eye. Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, seiki, seiki.
Under the eye. Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, seiki, seiki.
Under the nose. Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, seiki, seiki.
Under the mouth. Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, seiki, seiki.
Collarbone. Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, 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 Seiki.
Under the arm, Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Very good. Karate chop, Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Seiki, Seiki, Seiki.
Excellent. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath. And now release. Okay. And now comes the tongue twister, which is Honsaze Shonen, which means healing the past, the present, and the future. Okay. And now just repeat after me, top of the head. Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Okay. Eyebrow. Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Okay. Side of the eye. Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Under the eye. Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Under the nose, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Under the mouth, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Collarbone, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Under the arm, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Karate chop, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen, Honsaze Shonen.
Excellent. Let's all take a deep breath. And now release. Okay, very good. And now we're going to do the last Reiki mantra, which is Daikomyo, which basically means tuning in to the Reiki energy in order to allow it to flow through us so we can heal ourselves and others. So again, the tapping on the top of the head, just repeat after me. Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Eyebrow, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Side of the eye, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Under the eye, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Under the nose, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Under the mouth, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Collarbone, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Under the arm, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
All right, karate chop, Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Daikomyo, Daikomyo, Daikomyo.
Excellent, very good. Let's all take a deep breath. And now release. Very cool, excellent. Okay, and now we're going to do our last tap, which is the protective shield of golden light, which is a real, again, it's an easy tap, but I use it as just for my psychic hygiene, and it's a great protective tap, protecting us against other people's weird energy, etc. So if anybody out there is, shall we say, particularly sensitive, any sensitive souls out there, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I walk into a room and there's just some really creepy energy going on. And the problem with that is when I walk out of that room, some of it sticks on me. You know, it kind of gets slimed. Ever felt slimed by somebody else's bad energy? You know, you know, I kind of felt creepy and slimy afterwards. I mean, you didn't do anything with them, but it just felt like it, you know. So anyway, here, this is a really good tap for that. On my practice, in my experience, it works about for 3 hours. So what I do is I do it first thing in the morning, sort of lasts till lunchtime, and then at lunchtime I do it again, and that takes me through the afternoon. So it's kind of what I call my psychic hygiene. So top of the head, and just repeat after me, energy system.
Energy system.
Eyebrow, I'm instructing you.
I'm instructing you.
I generate a protective shield of golden light.
Generate a protective shield of golden light.
Under the eye, all around my body.
All around my body.
Under the nose, protecting me from all negative energies.
Protecting me from all negative energies.
Under the mouth, all negative influences.
All negative influences.
Collarbone, all negative intentions.
All negative intentions.
Under the arm, all negative entities.
All negative entities.
Karate chop, sending them all to the sun to be transmuted to love.
Sending them all to the sun to be transmuted to love.
Very good. Excellent. Let's go top of the head. Only allowing in.
Only allowing in.
Eyebrow, loving.
Loving.
Side of the eye, healing.
Healing.
Under the eye, positive.
Positive.
Under the nose, energies.
Energies.
Under the mouth, and intentions.
And intentions.
Collarbone. And if I have any negative energies or intentions.
And if I have any negative energies or intentions.
Under the arm, I send them all to the sun.
I send them all to the sun.
Karate chop, to be transmuted to love.
To be transmuted to love.
Excellent. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath. And now release. Okay, very cool. Okay, so there's our warm-up. By the way, I would strongly recommend you guys do the warm-ups anyway, regardless of what any specific taps you may be doing, especially if it just puts your whole energy system, your whole being into a positive state. Even though you're not specifically tapping on anything, it's a great daily practice. It's good preventative medicine. Let's put it that way. And the best way to do that is to, I record our sessions and I put them up on YouTube, and so you can just play them and tap along, to whatever, and then you just tap along. And then you don't have to remember anything. Just tap along as if you're really in the live group. So this group, this session will be recorded and it'll be up on YouTube hopefully by tomorrow morning at some point. Anyway, so tonight's topic is using EFT to treat anxiety, depression, PTSD, insomnia, and other serious emotional challenges. And that's pretty much how and why I got introduced to EFT. I came back from a dirty little war in a dirty little country, and I had what they call war-related, combat-related PTSD, and I was absolutely, just like in the movies, that caricature of the crazy combat vet, and I had, flashbacks, insomnia, I got angry really easy. I had all the symptoms. I had obsessive, intrusive thoughts. I had fibromyalgia, all kinds of weird psychosomatic pains. Okay. And like I said, basically all the professionals said, oh, we're going to put you on meds and we're going to give you electroshock therapy and maybe we'll even give you a prefrontal lobotomy. And for some reason, I didn't think that was such a great idea. And also I had friends who'd been, who'd come back from other dirty little wars and other dirty little countries. And of course, they'd been on these meds for like 20, 30 years and they were a mess. And I said, you know what, maybe I'm not going to do this. And as luck would have it, Marilyn Peterson, who at the time was there was one other woman in New York State at the time who was a master EFT practitioner, and that was Carol Look down in New York City. But Marilyn was the only person, and I was living in Woodstock at the time, and she lived about a mile out of town, and her husband was one of my buddies. And, basically, I started seeing Marilyn. Of course, I didn't believe that this tapping thing could work. And when her husband said, Marilyn is going to tap on you, I just rolled my eyes. I said, oh, God, here we go. Woodstock, And so then, like I said, Marilyn started tapping on me. And like I said, all the symptoms, the hypervigilance, the paranoia, it just all went away. It was incredible. I couldn't believe it. Now, it didn't go away permanently, but it got my attention. And basically what I then did is I tapped every day, probably a total of 2 hours a day. I mean, every time I had a flashback, intrusive thought, an impulse, paranoia, panic attack, rage attack, whatever you want to call it, okay, I would tap for 10 or 15 minutes and it would tap me down to zero. And then I'd go on for an hour or so, and then I had to tap again. Well, what happened was doing that every day and then seeing Marilyn once a week for 8 months, I ended up completely symptom-free, completely cured, and I'm using the word cured, of war-related PTSD, combat PTSD. That got my attention. okay? Because nobody else was getting cured from combat PTSD, all right? So I said, And of course, those amazing movies that Gary Craig made of him working at the VA, I just, it was like an eye opener. It was like a revelation. So anyway, the rest is history. So I definitely am behind using EFT for treating all kinds of emotional challenges, PTSD, anxiety, depression, you name trauma, etc. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And now, guys, it's your turn to check in, share any synchronicities, challenges, success, or questions, or also specifically what you'd like to tap on tonight, okay? So we can get a consensus of what we're going to tap on tonight. So go ahead, guys. Who'd like to check in first? Please go ahead.
Hi, Tony. It's Jean.
Hi, Jean. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much for everything you do. It's just really such a generous gift. I am going to report that I've been taking a lot of actions around finding work. Not all have been successful, but I've been taking a lot of action. And I do feel that the tapping has been helping me put myself out there. And as I have been an EFT practitioner without certification, I'm getting more and more motivated to pursue it. And, yeah, would love your input if you ever have a few minutes to help me with that, but I don't expect it. And I guess my vote for today would be to work on anxiety about money, even though we did that on Sunday, but the anxiety part. Thanks.
Okay, excellent. No problem. I just want to say two things. Carry on, keep tapping. And the best thing, anybody who wants to be any kind of practitioner, but is specifically an EFT practitioner, is physician heal thyself. And Gary, there was a time when Gary wouldn't certify you unless you'd done a complete personal peace procedure, which means you've gone through all your demons and all your ghoulies and ghosties and tapped them all down to a zero. Okay.
Right.
Unfortunately, that has gone by the board, and there's lots of people out there professing to do EFT who are seriously should not be they need help more than they need to practice, if you know what I mean. They should go find a practitioner and go work with them for a couple of years, yet they're hanging their shingle and they're, I hope they're not harming anybody, but frankly, you really need to work on yourself. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people out in our community, within 5 minutes, they need a lot of help. They shouldn't be looking for clients. They should be looking for a practitioner. You know what I mean? And I'm not referring to you directly, of course. I'm just making that comment. But I would say the best and smartest way to really become an absolute master EFT practitioner is to go through soup to nuts, on your personal peace procedure, which means make a list of every negative attachment, any experience, movie, YouTube, whatever you want to call it, memory, that has occurred in your life that when you still think of it today is a 5 or above, okay? And gives you that negative feeling of fame, shall we say negative feelings of shame, guilt, anger, resentment, fear, whatever, of a 5 or above, that still gives you a body feel. Tap it down to 0, and if you have to tap on it 5 or 6 times, keep tapping. You got plenty of time. Okay, it's still faster than armchair therapy. Okay. You'll be surprised at how much more effective you'll be at your life if you go through the personal peace procedure. Halfway through your personal peace procedure, you're going to find yourself doing things you never thought you could do, reacting to situations 1,000% better than you ever have before. Okay. And a lot of the demons and the ghoulies and ghosties will be gone. But it's tedious. It's a pain in the ass. Everybody's done it, just moans about it. But at the end, when they get halfway through, they say, man, my life is, you really start to see your life changing.
Well, what do you think about trauma, like, can you really tap on your own trauma, or don't you need a witness? I mean,
It probably is a good idea to work with somebody else. Yes. On the other hand, once you get if you get a practiced, experienced professional, I don't know. There's this guy Tony something. I don't know what his name is. Tony somebody. I don't know. Get an experienced professional who does know their stuff. And unfortunately, I'll be honest with you. I don't think there's 5% of the people who are hanging EFT shingles I would trust with serious trauma. But that's my opinion. What can I say? But because they haven't done their own work, they haven't practiced what they preach. On the other hand, you can go through a lot of it on your own. Just go slow, and then check in with an experienced pro who's done trauma work. Like I said tonight, check in with trauma work. Check in. But again, the first thing is make that list, and get a notebook. Get a spiral notebook, and you start making your list. First list is a gratitude list. Second list is your self-sabotaging, self-limiting beliefs. What else is family vows. The next list would be your Monster Hall of Fame or your, personal peace procedure list. Or if you're in a 12-step fellowship, it would be called the 4th or 5th step or the 8th step, okay? A list is just a list, okay? But the name of the game is what you do with that list. And the idea is to tap it all down to 0. Okay? And it takes time. It's a royal pain, but it is so worth it.
Well, of course, I've been tapping on myself.
Good.
But doing it really, really the way you're talking, 2 hours a day, I probably could use that.
I mean, maybe. Well, listen. Unless 2 hours a day is because people were seriously trying to kill me. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. For a long time, and so I'm not saying you have to tap 2 hours a day. Anybody who's come back from a combat zone probably would have to. Anybody who's been seriously abused as a child, anybody who's been sexually abused, anybody who's been violently sexual abuse, anybody who's been raped, okay, anybody who's been battered, anyone who has, I beg your pardon?
Scapegoated by their families.
Well, that emotional abuse is pretty powerful too. But again, if your emotional challenges are keeping you from having a full and complete life, then I would say yes, you're going to have to do a lot of tapping. If you have a diagnosis, okay, again, you probably EFT will definitely, you got to do a lot of EFT on it. So I would go with, if you've been depression, anxiety, if there's been a real official piece of paper saying anxiety, depression, bipolar, whatever, PTSD, then you're going to have to do a lot of tapping. Okay. If you're, like I said, if there's been a piece of paper with your name on it and a word like, anxiety disorder or combat PTSD or bipolar, then you're going to, yes, EFT will help you. Yes, you're going to get results, but you got to really absolutely dedicate yourself to recovery. You have to make it a priority. But the results are incredible. I've seen absolute miracles. I've seen people, absolutely, completely dysfunctional, incapable of functioning, and now they have full and complete lives.
So I don't want to take up any all the time.
Job, marriage, the whole bit. Career.
So, yeah. I just have a lot of self-sabotage because, from my family of origin issues.
Okay,
and, that's what I need to tap on.
Then make it systematic. That's why we want to make the lists. And you keep it on paper, and you want to kind of date it so you can see your success. So a month down the road, you've gotten rid of so many monsters, right? And so many self-limiting beliefs, and now your behaviors change, and you go, oh my gosh, I have made progress, right? Okay.
Definitely.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, and just stay on the calls. Get on the calls.
Thank you.
And like I said, when and if you can afford to, call this amazing guy Tony somebody. I don't know what's his name.
Thank you.
I don't know
can you give me his number?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know. He's on Facebook somewhere. Tony
Sounds
something.
good.
Tony something.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right,
Thanks,
guys.
Tony.
Anybody else want to check in? Go ahead, please. Anxiety, depression, PTSD, insomnia, kvetch or kvel.
I'd like
Go ahead,
I'd
please.
like to. I
Go
have
ahead.
all of those. I'm Michota again, and I do have the piece of paper with the PTSD and depression and anxiety. And my PTSD came from I lost my son
Okay.
10 years ago
All right.
when he was 2 years and 8 months old, and I want to tap on fear because I
Okay.
noticed that that's that's my life, is fear.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Sure. No, we can help you and just have to do a lot of tapping. It's going to be,
Yeah,
yes, it'll work, but yes, it's going to be a lot of work.
yeah,
Okay. All
yeah.
right. So that now
I'm ready for it.
there is a kind of a disservice, particularly due to the way certain people try to market, and I use the word market in quotes, EFT, as it's some
Mhm.
kind of miracle cure, and you're all going to get cured in 39 seconds. And there are these YouTubes of Gary tapping with somebody, and the woman or the guy says, I'm cured, I'm cured, I'm cured, after 14 seconds of tapping, right? What you don't see is that, for the last 3 months, Gary had been working with that guy or gal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is faster than armchair therapy. It's way more effective and it is permanent, but you got to be thorough and you got to be
Yeah.
complete and you got to go through each and every thing. Okay. And it takes time. Some people respond quicker, some people take a little longer, but it's not going to happen in 90 seconds.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, you're in the right place. Yes, we can help you. It's a complex issue for you, but yes. And you may want to talk to me privately. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Awesome. Okay. Anybody else want to check in, say hi, and share whatever's going on, and also what you'd like to tap on specifically tonight?
Hi, Tony. It's Christina. I just got on.
Hi, Christina. Welcome aboard.
Oh, thanks. Let's see. Getting iPhone to work. I think, let's see, what do I want to tap on? I think I want to tap on, this is definitely PTSD night, so I think I'm in the right place. When I don't feel safe and I can't feel the ground beneath my feet, I panic, I scream, I get really scared. I went to a Zumba class today, actually. Believe it or not, I didn't believe this even 2-3 hours ago, but blind people could do Zumba. And it was really, really, really great. But then they had us do some strength training and floor exercises. And when I was going to go from sitting to laying on the floor, I had to hold somebody's hand to make sure that, there was going to be ground there. And then when somebody came up to me and moved me, I screamed so loud the whole class probably looked up and went, "What the heck?" So definitely, and then I tend to, as a result, I can lash out, and I'm really rude and mean to people who are just innocent bystanders who meant with the best of intentions to help me, and now they probably have this, "well, I'm never helping a blind lady again" attitude. And on behalf of all the blind people in the world, that's not what I want to display. So I want to get this under control somehow.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. I understand. I feel there's that kind of dichotomy. On one hand, there's nothing wrong with being the squeaky wheel, right? Right? You're
True.
allowed to ask for
True.
help. You're allowed to demand help. On the other
Yeah.
hand, you don't want to be screaming fire when there is none, right?
That right, and that's kind of what I do.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's,
got
and
my
of course,
extremes
that's,
down.
and it's the fear. It's the fear. But you can still
Yeah.
say, I need help now, or help me now,
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
firm but empowered voice rather than, as you say, screeching fire. Right. Okay. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, then it gets fear. I think we're getting into fear tonight. Fear and anxiety. Why not? Okay. Anybody else want to check in, say hi, and what they'd like to tap on, or kvetch or kvel? Any synchronicities, challenges, victories, progress? Always love hearing about progress and victories too, by the way. Go ahead, please. Okay. Anybody? All righty. So let's get into some tapping. All right. And I guess we're going to work on, it sounds like we're doing fear and anxiety. Uh, and particularly if we're talking about PTSD, there's always that physical body feeling component, right? So you want to connect the body feeling with the emotional or head feeling as well. In fact, the body feeling is probably where the trauma is located. Okay, so it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be able to connect with the body feeling. Initially, it may be hard to connect with your body because a lot of PTSD survivors or trauma survivors are disconnected from their body. But if you keep tapping and you keep on the calls, gradually you'll get more and more in touch with your body. Okay, so don't worry. But in essence, if you can't figure out where it is, then just say in my body. All right. So you're not, so that's all you need to say initially, okay? But if you can localize it to in my chest or in my legs or in my back, that's awesome, okay? Because that's, again, trauma tends to, the way the body works, the amygdala does a, which is the part of the brain that processes trauma, okay, does a data dump to a certain part of the body, okay? And that's why you get these psychosomatic pains and aches, these non-diagnosable aches and pains in weird parts of your body, but the doctor says, hey, get out of here, there's nothing wrong with you. That's what that is, okay? All righty, so now we're going to rub our sore spot, okay? And I want everybody to check in with the level of intensity, the number, okay, that they're feeling, the fear or anxiety or whatever it is, the situation. So check in with your numbers. What's your number on a scale of 0 to 10? 0 being you're absolutely clear and there's no problem, and 10 you're screaming or you're crying. Go ahead, please.
7.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Anybody else? Okay. Also, where do you feel where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel it in your body anywhere?
My stomach and my face.
Okay.
My stomach as well.
Okay.
My back and shoulders.
Okay, very good. Excellent.
Throat and head.
Okay, good. Excellent. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do the more or less the basic recipe, but we're going to do it as a one-size-fits-all. You guys fill in the blanks so it's true to you. And again, if there's something else extra or there's something slightly different, customize it so it works for you, okay? So then just repeat after me, and rubbing your sore spot or tapping on your karate chop, just repeat after me. Even though I have this fear and anxiety and trauma in my...
Even though I have this fear and anxiety and trauma in my stomach and in my face.
Okay, and my number is?
My number is 10.
Okay, very good. I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
I deeply completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Very good. Okay, very good. So even though I have this trauma, fear, and anxiety in my...
Even though I have this trauma, fear, and anxiety in my face and my stomach.
Okay, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Excellent, very good. So even though I have this fear, anxiety, and trauma in my...
Even though I have this fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach, excuse whoever sneezed.
Okay, I choose to heal, release, and let go.
Choose to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my...
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Now let's go to the top of the head. all trauma, fear, and anxiety in my.
All trauma, fear, and anxiety in my face and my stomach.
Okay, eyebrow, all trauma, fear, and anxiety in my.
All trauma, fear, and anxiety in my face and my stomach.
Okay, side of the eye, all fear, trauma, and anxiety in my.
All fear, anxiety
In my stomach.
in my stomach.
Okay, under the eye, all anxiety, fear, and trauma in my.
All anxiety, fear, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Trauma in my stomach.
Under the nose, all anxiety, fear, and trauma in my.
All anxiety, fear, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
In my stomach.
Under the mouth, all fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, collarbone, all fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, under the arm, all fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
In my stomach.
Very good. Karate chop. So even though I had this anxiety, fear, and trauma in my.
So even though I have this anxiety, fear, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Trauma in my stomach.
Okay, I choose to heal, release, and let go.
I choose to heal, release.
I choose to heal, release, and to let go.
All anxiety, fear, and trauma in my.
All anxiety, fear, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Now, you guys hearing a lot of yawning, that means that's a good thing. There's a lot of releasing going on, so that's a good thing. If you feel yourself kind of with a kind of a buzz or a high or a tingle or you're yawning a lot, don't worry. That's the EFT kicking in. It's doing its work. You're responding. So that's a good thing. Okay, let's go top of the head. I choose to heal, release, and let go.
I choose to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
The eyebrow, I deserve to heal, release, and let go.
I deserve to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, side of the eye, I give myself permission to heal, release, and let go.
I give myself permission to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Very good. Under the eye, I am willing to heal, release, and let go.
I am willing to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, under the nose, it's safe for me to heal, release, and let go.
It's safe for me to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Under the mouth, I have the power to heal, release, and let go.
I have the power to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, very good. Collarbone. I like the way it feels when I heal, release, and let go.
I like the way it feels when I heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, on the arm, it's easy for me to heal, release, and let go.
It's easy for me to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Very good. Excellent. Karate chop. So even though I have all this fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
So even though I have all this fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
I choose to heal, release, and let go.
Choose to heal, release, and let go.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Very good. Let's go top of the head. Letting go of all fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
Letting go of all fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Eyebrow, letting go.
Letting go.
Side of the eye, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the eye, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the nose, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the mouth, letting go.
Letting go.
Collarbone, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the arm, letting go.
Letting go.
Karate chop. Letting go of all fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
Letting go of all fear, anxiety, and trauma in my stomach and my face.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Very good. Now take a deep breath. And now release. Okay. Now I want you to rub your sore spot or tap on your karate chop. Just kind of tune in, kind of check in with yourself, and we're going to just check in what your number is on now and what's happened to the symptoms. Has it moved around? Has it gone up or down? Check in with your number on a scale of 0 to 10. Check in where your number is now. Go ahead, please.
5.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
7.
Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is I want you to continue rubbing your sore spot or tapping on your karate chop. Just repeat after me. Even though there's been some progress.
Even though there's been some progress.
I started at. Say the number you started at.
I started out at 7.
I'm down to the number you're at now.
I'm down to a 5.
Okay. But there's still some remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
There's still some remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Very good. Excellent. So even though there's still some remaining trauma, fear, and anxiety in my.
Even though there's still some remaining trauma, fear, and anxiety in my face and in my throat and my stomach.
I choose to heal, release, and let go.
Choose to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, my throat, and my stomach.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Okay, very good. Let's go to the top of the head. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining
fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Eyebrow. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Okay, side of the eye. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, trauma in my face and my stomach.
Under the eye. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my. Oh, Gesundheit.
All remaining fear, thank you. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Under the nose. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, trauma in my face and my stomach.
Under the mouth. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Very good. Collarbone. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Under the arm. All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face and my stomach.
Very good. Karate chop. So even though there's still some remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
So even though there's still some remaining trauma, fear, and anxiety in my face and my stomach.
I choose to heal, release, and let go.
I choose to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, my stomach, and my throat.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Excellent. Now we're going to go to choices. Top of the head. I choose to heal, release, and let go.
I choose to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, my stomach, and my throat.
Okay. Eyebrow. I deserve to heal, release, and let go.
I deserve to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, trauma, anxiety in my face, my neck, and my stomach.
Side of the eye. I give myself permission to heal, release, and let go.
I give myself permission to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, my throat, and my stomach.
Okay. Under the eye. I'm willing to heal, release, and let go.
I'm willing to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my stomach, and my face, and my throat.
Okay, very good. Under the nose, it's safe for me to heal, release, and let go.
It's safe for me to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, trauma in my face, in my throat, in my stomach.
Okay, under the mouth, I have the power to heal, release, and let go.
I have the power to heal, release, and let go.
Heal, release, let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, in my throat, and in my stomach.
Very good. Collarbone, I like the way it feels when I heal, release, and let go.
I like the way it feels when I heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, in my throat, and in my stomach.
Excellent. Very good. Under the arm. It's easy for me to heal, release, and let go.
It's easy for me to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, in my throat, and my stomach.
Very good. Karate chop. So even though I have this remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my stomach, sorry about that. Fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
So even though I have this anxiety, fear, and trauma in my face, in my throat, my stomach.
Okay, I choose to heal, release, and let go.
I choose to heal, release, and let go.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
All remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, my throat, and my stomach.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Very good. Now we're going to go to the let go, top of the head. Letting go of all remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
Letting go of all remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, my throat, and my stomach.
Eyebrow, letting go.
Letting go.
Side of the eye, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the eye, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the nose, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the mouth, letting go.
Letting go.
Collarbone, letting go.
Letting go.
Under the arm, letting go.
Letting go. Letting go.
Karate chop, letting go of all remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my.
Letting go of all remaining fear, anxiety, and trauma in my face, in my throat, and in my stomach.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Excellent. Very good. Let's all take a deep breath. And now release. Okay. And now just rub your sore spot and now tune in. Tune in and check in how you're feeling now. And check in with your number on a scale of 0 to 10. What's going on? Go ahead, please.
2 or 3.
Good. Excellent.
5. 4.
Okay. All right. So if you're under 3 or 4, if you're around 3 or 4 or even 5, obviously rinse and repeat, do a third round or maybe even a fourth round. On the other hand, if you're still hovering above 5, it's because you've taken on too big a chunk. Again, the trick with EFT is to break it up and to have as specific and as accurate a target as you possibly can. Okay? Because if you're too general, okay, you're going to end up with a lot of somebody's doing a lot of banging and clanging. There we go. All right. If you're too general, okay, then you're going to end up, you're not going to get as quick a result as if you're more specific. In other words, you may want to cut it up into episodes or parts. Okay, if it was a prolonged event, or if it was if it wasn't just one single event but a series of events, then you need to break it up into each individual event. Or if it was a prolonged event over a long period of time, you may want to cut it up into episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, or part 1, part 2, part 3. Because if it's too big a chunk, it's just going to take a lot longer to tap it down to 0. If you keep tapping, if you keep persisting, eventually it'll come down to 0. Now, what I often suggest is, tap for as long as you possibly can. If you can tap for 10 or 15 minutes and you've got it down to a 5 or a 4, that's great. Give it a rest and tap on it again tomorrow. Okay? And if you do that every day for 2 or 3 days, it'll be at a 0 eventually. Okay, so that's, like I said, that is the secret to EFT. People used to go to Gary and they'd say, Gary, what's the secret? What's the fast track? What's the insider scoop? And of course, he'd say persistence, repetition, and frequency.
Yeah.
Because, again, it's some of these traumas, by the time, we're dealing with them now, we've probably had these traumas for many years, okay, or a long period of time, and they are at a core molecular level. They are literally physically part of our body, okay? And so it's going to take a little bit of work to kind of dislodge them and get that energy moving and moving out of our body, get that stagnant, negative, reversed energy out of our body. It's going to take some doing, and it's going to take persistence, repetition, and frequency. Uh, but the more you do it, each time you go back to that particular trauma, you're going to find it's a little lower, it's a little lesser. And then if you keep at it, it'll finally be at a 0. And once it's at a 0, that'll be permanent. Okay?
Wow.
All right? So
Yes.
that's
Thank you.
basically so that's why, when Gary said persistence, repetition, and free, that is the secret. It's just hard work, and some people don't want to do the work. That's all. They want the goodies, but they don't want to put in the time. And what I say to people, man, if you don't want to do the work, don't expect much. All right? But if
And
you
Tony,
want to
when
do
you
the
say breaking it up, like I'm just kind of feeling the issue. Is that what
right.
you mean, or do we have to cut? Yeah. So.
I mean, again, I don't know what the issue is. If you're, again, if it's a generalized issue, in other words, I feel stressed and frightened, that's very general. Okay. Tapping will make you feel better, but it'll take a while to get it down to a 0. Okay. If you say,
Mhm.
I feel, I have bad stuff from my childhood, boom,
Mhm.
or something horrible happened to me last year. Okay. Okay. Now, those are all, but you need to really get down to specifics. Okay. What happened during your childhood, when, and who did it, and exactly what and when. Okay. Uh, and if something hard, and again, if it's like a car accident or if it's something else, you have to get specific. You don't have to get into it right away.
Mm-hmm.
And, and being general might be the way to begin. Okay. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying it's the wrong way, but you're not going to experience that. It's not going to go down very quickly because it's too big a chunk. You understand?
That
You
makes
want to
so
you
much
want to
sense.
break it up. You want to break it up. Okay. And that's
You know,
where,
Tony, what I did? I started out with my childhood was hostile and unsupportive, and I've been working on it for 3 days, like you're talking about, because that's why I'm probably still at a 5. I
right.
started out general, hostile, unsupportive, and then I started seeing what was really going on, things I didn't realize, like they didn't want to buy me shoes.
Right.
And so I started getting into specifics. So I totally get what you're saying. You start, if it's too hard to remember, you might have to start general, like I don't feel good for whatever reason, and then the specifics can come. But it's
Right.
hard sometimes to remember the specifics because there are millions of different events.
Well, there are millions of events, and there's also something else going on. It's called disassociation, because that's how
Oh yeah.
that's how we that's how we protect ourselves. Because
Right.
what we did, I mean, especially when we're younger, but also if it's too horrible or too outrageous or too beyond belief, whatever happened, right? We to protect ourselves, so we kind of take ourselves offline, okay, and we form what they call an amnesiac barrier. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now that can be partial amnesia. That can be like little, partial blackouts or grayouts around the event. Okay. Or it can be a total blackout. Some people come to me, they can't remember the first 15 years of their childhood. Okay. Other people, for myself, I couldn't remember a whole year in a dirty little country. It came back to me, I couldn't remember it.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
you know, again, and some people, ready for this, have total factual cognitive recall, but emotionally completely dead, absent.
That's me. That is me, Tony, definitely.
They have complete
emotions.
recall. They completely recall everything. You know, they have absolute perfect detail, but they turned off the emotions.
So, Tony, actually, I felt aware today of exactly the compulsive shrinking back that I have done habitually my whole life. And I'm becoming more cognizant and aware, viscerally aware. So when we were tapping, I felt like I had a very clear focus on the visceral experience of that shrinking. That's how I tapped in it. I seem to be yawning a lot. But that's what you call general?
Well, it sounds general. I mean, it may be triggered by a specific event. I would, because there may have been several similar events, okay? I mean, let's put it this way. Very often in war, it's the same bad, horrible night ambush or mission day after day after day. In an abusive childhood, there could be abuse every day or several times a day. Unfortunately, and I don't want to scare anybody, but in some of the cases, I mean, there was sexual abuse every day for years. And we had, and basically, we had to go through each event. Now it got easier and easier and easier, and I'm hardly, it's kind of not a great thing to say easier, but it actually became, more, as the client, not routine, but it was just, it became more, as the client healed and got stronger, it was more able to sort of just work through each event, But, and again, I mean, or in a domestic violence, how do you deal with an abusive marriage that's been abusive for years, 10 years, and the wife has been battered and beaten by some drunken slob, every day for 10 years. But each one of those days was a trauma, right? Or several traumas, But with EFT, you have to kind of go through each one. Now, here's the good news about EFT. There's something called the generalization effect, and I'll just kind of repeat it out loud. Basically, and then I'm going to make it really silly simple, and this is totally hypothetical and grossly oversimplified. Okay, imagine you have 110 extreme traumas. Okay, and they're all tens, and they're all horrific. Okay, so say we do the first 10. Okay, we tap them all down to 0. The remaining 90 may go down to a 9. Okay. Then we go, and now we start slogging through and say we get halfway. The remaining 50, okay, will be now down around a 7 or a 6. So it gets progressively less re-traumatizing as we do it.
Right.
And that's the benefit. Whereas when you're doing armchair therapy, God bless, when you're doing armchair, which is why I got out of it, you're constantly re-traumatizing the client. But as long as you're tapping, you're processing. You're not re-traumatizing. Okay?
Yep.
All righty. So like I said, it's hard work. It's a royal pain in the you-know-where. But again, you get your life back, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys. So I guess it's been a good night. We've done a lot of work. You've done some great work, guys. And again, if you, like I said, I'll be turning this into a recording. So if you want to do some tap-alongs, just look at my YouTube channel or my Facebook page and just tap along, okay? And like I said, we're going to do the abundance tap to wind up, okay? So let's just rub our sore spot, okay, guys? And repeat after me. Even though I have been allowing the universe to manifest some abundance in my life,
even though I have been allowing the universe to manifest some abundance in my life,
I choose to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
I choose to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
Even more abundance in my life.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Excellent. So Very good. So even though I have been allowing the universe to manifest some abundance in my life,
So even though I have been allowing the universe to manifest some abundance in my life,
I set a firm intention
I set a firm intention
to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Excellent. So even though I have been allowing the universe to manifest some abundance in my life,
So even though I have been allowing the universe to manifest some abundance in my life,
today, right now, I set a firm intention
today, right now, I set a firm intention
to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
And I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself anyway.
Excellent. Let's go to karate chop. Today, right now, I set a firm intention,
Today, right now, I set a firm intention
top of the head, to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
to allow the universe to manifest even more abundance in my life.
Good. Eyebrow, even more abundance of love.
Even more abundance of love,
Side of the eye, even more abundance of happiness.
even more abundance of happiness,
Under the eye, even more abundance of good health.
even more abundance of good health,
Under the nose, even more abundance of financial prosperity.
even more abundance of financial prosperity,
Under the mouth, even more abundance of artistic creativity.
even more abundance of artistic creativity,
Collarbone, even more abundance of good friends.
even more abundance of good friends,
Under the arm, even more abundance of all the good things I really need.